Hey, good afternoon, Jesse. How you doing today?
Good.
All right. Hey, what are some of the things y'all doing that preparing for the 49ers and with the issues with the quarterbacks and who's going to play and who's not going to play?
Yeah, it's a good squad. Obviously they hang their hats on, running the ball. They haven't really gotten it going as well as they want to, but obviously they got the back that is more than capable of doing it. And then obviously off of the run, you got some big shots off of it as well. So, that's the problems that they present this week for sure.
Hey, and I guess y'all call it populating to the ball. We used to call it game tackling, but I guess, that's not cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So how have y'all been able to do that and I'm getting a lot of credit for by Coach Gruden's film review of everybody being in the picture frame at the end of the play.
Yeah, that's something that we talk about, in the defensive meeting room. We made an oath to each other that we'll get 11 guys inside the frame every run play, and that way we can, force teams to drop back, and you see our D-line, our pressure starting to heat up a little bit, and guys starting to get the ball off the quarterback. So, that's where it starts, though. You have to get 11 in the frame to, fit up the run, and then also on the perimeter and stuff like that. You got to have everybody got to do their job, so we can have success.
Jesse, do you have a favorite Deshaun Robinson moment over the last few years?
Yeah, there's been a few, honestly. There's too many to count, honestly. I think maybe his rookie year, first game against Carolina when he caught the bubble and I think he made like 3 guys miss and scored a touchdown. So that's probably one of the first ones I can think of. And then, over the last 2.5, 3 years, it pops up every single game. So pretty exciting stuff.
How about off the field? It seems like he's, loved by everyone here.
Yeah, he's a God-fearing man, a true leader, not just on the field but off the field as well. I don't know if you guys seen what he's doing with some of his foundation work. He had a book fair, which I don't even think they have those nowadays, but they had one at the stadium, and Bijan was able to provide over 300 plus students with books, and being able to close that gap was I think that's something that's near and dear to his heart. So it just really explains who Bijan is as a person.
Ulrich mentioned that Billy Bowman's quickly becoming one of the better nickel corners in the NFL. What had kind of led into some of that success, and what have you seen from him?
Yeah, I always say his football knowledge, him able to quickly process things and have a full understanding of what our defense is doing. When he first got here, he could say he can play nickel, he can play safety, he can play corner, whatever it is. I think that's what makes him special, is he's able to understand every position perspective, I think, in each coverage. And it's able for him to go play fast and pop off the tape like he's been doing.
And then with D, a guy who goes from outside corner, stepping in for A.J. Terrell, and then having to fill in at nickel for Billy last week. What have you seen from him specifically, and stepping in specifically based off of, I don't want to say the poor performance last week, but people were very critical of him.
Yeah.
And compare that to this year and what you've seen from him.
Yeah, I always thought, D's been a hell of a player. I think last year we put him in a lot of tough situations, in that defense. But I'm just proud of him, the way he's able to, take the criticism and then be that guy for us that, either he's a CB3, he's a nickel 2, whatever it is that we need. D has showed up and has been able to step in and have some success as well. It just says a lot about him. Says a lot about there's no ego in our room because he could have easily walked in there with Billy getting the starting position. He could have easily checked out. And I got a lot of respect and a lot of credit for him for how he's handled that situation.
Did you say anything, as sort of the leader of that group back there, did you say anything to him last year when he really became a target and people were getting on him a lot? He said it, started to get to him at times.
Yeah, in that nickel position, it's hard, man. If you don't switch up coverages, a lot of time you'll get a lot of runaways and, people just breaking off your leverage. you can't do that to your nickel. You gotta show him some love, give him a break every once in a while, and last year is last year, and I'm just happy the way that he's learned from that and how he's able to bounce back and have success now.
What do you see a difference in his confidence level, and how important is confidence for a guy sitting there?
Yeah, confidence is your number one thing, especially at that nickel position. You're dealt with a lot of one-on-ones and a lot of space, and you're going to get the ball caught on you, but you want to make plays more than that, more than you get the ball caught on you. But that's just what comes with this life. That's what we chose, and I think that his confidence is definitely up now for sure.
How do you make sure that the drop from week 2 to 3 doesn't happen now after another primetime win? Is it something you'll discuss, like let's make sure we don't repeat that? Or is it kind of like, this is a different team, we know we were better than that anyway?
Yeah, I think you learn from those situations. When you learn from how you deal with, adversity, and then you figure out how you deal with, that success as well. You got to make sure that you stay on top of everything. And that's just not the defense, but it's just our whole team. We can't get bored with, with some of these stuff that we're doing. We just got to continue to get better at it and try to, perfect that, whatever we're doing, which I think we're more than capable of. So, that lesson shouldn't be taught twice. We just got to learn from that and, continue to grow as a team.
Is it easier to flip the switch to the next game since it is a shorter week, or more difficult maybe?
Obviously, you get a day behind a little bit, but the urgency, I think, picks up a little bit. Rod takes care of our body yesterday with the walkthrough, but those walkthroughs are pretty in-depth, pretty detailed as well. Same thing we can get out of a practice, I think. But, yeah, there's definitely a challenge with, playing a short week and going on the road to go play on a different time zone as well. But how else would you want it? Primetime game, Sunday night football, so stuff that you dream about.
Chris Lindstrom said yesterday that the mental preparation is actually maybe more important than the physical.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday's kind of an example of that, where it was a very mental Wednesday rather than a physical Wednesday. Do you think that's true too?
Yeah, absolutely. Mentally, you just got to get your mind, your body, and your spirits right. That we got to go out here and execute at a high level again. Nobody cares that we had a Monday night game and we got home at midnight, whatever it was. We just got to go out there and execute at a high level.
What makes going up against a Shanahan offense so difficult for just somebody in your position?
Yeah, I would say he just challenges a lot of coverages. I think I watched something on X or Twitter the other day. He was like the ball boy when his dad was the head coach calling offense. So he's been around it for a long time. He knows, how to dictate coverages and stuff like that with, these small motions with McCaffrey. He's just a smart dude. He's been around it. He's got a lot of respect, league wide, and he has his own, tree that, of head coaches that come off him as well. So, he just attacks, all the zones, up top, down low, all the trick plays, all that good stuff. So we just got to be well prepared for him.
And then on top of that, then you have lots of skill players. Like you talk about Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, who could be coming back for this game. What do you see from those guys in general?
Yeah, they're best, some of the best in the league, and they use them. So they use them the right way, and with getting them the ball in space, and with Kittle making those same looks the same, with him blocking and then him also running routes off of it. So those their core pieces are really good and are good for a reason.
There have been many instances where it's like, oh, are you preparing for quarterback A or quarterback B, this is another one of those cases. But there's also multiple other skill positions who might be coming back. Mm-hmm. How do you basically prepare for two different 49ers offenses?
I wouldn't say the offense has been very different. Obviously, they'll probably utilize them a little bit more that they're actually playing. But I think both the quarterbacks have played, very similar. They're doing a really good job of getting the run game going and then hitting their play action passes and stuff like that. So, it's a problem when you got to watch two different quarterbacks. But some of the concepts and stuff, I think they're basically staying the same. And I think as you get George Kittle in there, you want to get him the ball. You better get him the ball because he's one of the best. So just got to be on the eye for that.
What does it say about this defense that you have 12 different guys in this team with more than a half sack?
Yeah, guys are hungry. That was a focus this year, I think, was to get pressure and get guys at the quarterback and affect the quarterback. And then that tends to lead to, interceptions and good things happen for our defense. So we focus, all OTAs, all training camp on these looks and our disguises, and to see it come to life is pretty cool.
Couple more.
I'll start it off whenever you're ready, D-Lay. You good?
Yeah, sir.
Congrats to big win for us Monday night with those guys, all three phases, being able to contribute. You talk about special teams, core guys showing up, Felipe Franks, DeMarco Helms, Mike Ford being disruptive in coverage. And it was good to have Cordell Hodge back, who made a couple of tackles in the game. Overall, you look back at the game, we have a little bit of leakage, but we got to hit a better ball on that field goal to take the score, make it a 2-score game. But I am proud of those guys, Mark, when it comes to being able to come back. Defense gets a stop, offense drives downfield. We get the exact same rush. Those guys do a great job of executing, protecting inside out, and then Romo getting nice height and trajectory on the football to make it a 2-score game to put the stress back on the Bills, and then our defense finished it with the rest. And a great job by Zach Harrison getting his hand on the ball and D-Lo getting a pick and taking the knee. So proud of those guys, how they've been working and continue to get better each and every week. And we look forward to the challenge this week going against a really physical and tough San Francisco 49ers special teams unit. They have really good returners. We talk about they have Brian Robertson back there, Granado, Isaiah back there, Isaac from Louisville, number 31. And then they also have Sky Moore. That's the dual returner for them. He does a great job getting north and south, had a big punt return in the preseason versus Seattle. And then Thomas Morstead is still one of the best directional punters in the league, being able to flip the field. And then Eddie Pinero's been with those guys, and he's doing a good job for those guys as well. So look forward to the challenge. I know we'd have a good cover guy with Saran Neal, who's playing for them on the outside, number 33, and he's very disruptive on kickoff coverage and punt. And our guys are excited, and we're excited to put together a great day of work today. So I'll open that up to questions.
Coach, your opponent drive starts numbers are very good. Would you give those guys that you mentioned credit on the coverage teams for that?
The opponent's drive start?
Yeah.
It goes. I don't know what the rankings are. I just care about, can we win that play? Can we win that down? Whatever that situation is. Whether it's the end of the game, D-led, where it was like a minute 43 left, and we go cover the kick. They have no timeouts. We take about 6-7 seconds off the clock. And every second matters, especially in the end of the game when it's a 2-score lead. So every play, we just care about, can our guys play with speed, physicality, play with a great effort and mindset to go win. But give all the credit to our players. You talk about DeMarco, Jalen Walker, who's playing for us on kickoff cover, Hodge, Mike Ford, Bradley Pinion, who's doing a great job with the kick game plan and putting the ball where it needs to be so we could go out there and execute at the highest level. And it's cool to see that. And then Raw always talks about what it takes, whatever it takes for us to go out there to win that down, whether it's offense, defense, special teams. So a lot of credit to those guys working our best and trying our best to play complementary football.
And how close are you all to busting some returns? That number's not as high as the coverage.
Yeah, it's week 6, going into week 7 of the season. We're always close. You look at any return in the NFL is always 1 block, maybe 2 blocks away. For us, our challenge is, can we play that down longer, harder, and finish that down longer than the other opponent that we're going against. So there's going to be seams. There's always seams on every kickoff return, punt return. How fast can the returner surface on the other side of that seam? So our guys are working at it, and we're making sure Agnew, as a punt returner, swinging at the right pitch, making sure he's returning the right football. He got a 10-yard return the other day, which is a first down for us, and we're close. But we got to continue to work. To get big plays in the NFL is hard. They get explosive plays, and our guys are working at it, and we're going to make sure that we're going to put our offense in the best field positions possible. But the most important thing, D-Led, is that we have the ball in the next play for our offense. That's what we care about. Those guys are decision makers, and they're playmakers too. But we look at those other 10 guys blocking as playmakers as well. So every week we're going to get teams' best coverage reps. So we got to make sure it's a long run play for us, and we got to make sure we sustain our blocks even longer so our returners can surface on the other side of that and create explosive returns.
And on the coach said that 37-yarder that got blocked was low, but he was on the right hash and it was going left. They were like, it's going left. I'm like, it was on the right hash. It's got to go left.
Yeah, I mean, he just has to hit a better ball. That's all it comes down to. When you're that close, even on deep field goals, some of the things you look at when you evaluate kickers is like the trajectory, the height. Can you get rise on the ball? Because there's some teams that could get knocked back, and if you hit a deeper field goal, there's going to be a lower kick. Yeah. So can those guys keep that same height on the football? On that one, we just need to have better contact because the ball did come out low, and we addressed that, and those are things. But I am proud of how Romo responded back and had great height and great contact on the one to give us a 2-score lead. So that's great resiliency, being able to bounce back pretty fast within the next couple of minutes to go out there and hit that field goal, which was a clutch field goal for us.
I'm sure you've looked at all the field goals that have been blocked across the league this year. Can you attribute it to something different special team coordinators are doing this season, or what's going on there?
I mean, I don't know the numbers per se when it comes to block kicks or block field goals, but it's a variety of different things. It's kind of hard just to say, Taryn, that it's one thing per se. It could be the kick height. It could be the operation, slow operation. It could be execution of blocking. It could be the scheme that the team that is running that they're going against. It could be just great effort by opponent. Give great effort to Buffalo. The guy did a great job playing with great effort. Just so happened it was a low kick with his great effort. There's multiple things that can happen. It could be due to weather. It could be due to a bad spot by the holder. It could be bad contact. It could be a lot of different things that could happen on the play. Or, like the Saints, they had a jumper that jumped over. Who was it? The Jets. They had the same thing where they had the guy jump over. There's a lot of different things. So there's a variety of different things. There's overall, as a field goal block team, you got to play with the same mentality, same urgency, same speed, pad level. And if there's any crack, whether it's a protection, operation, ball contact, you got to be able to be in a position to go make that play.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
No, that's fair. I just noticed with the numbers, there's more already through week 6 than there have been in years past. So I didn't know if there was like something different coordinators figured out or anything like that.
No, it just happens that way. Yeah, it was good for the game. You know what I mean? Guys making plays.
What have you seen from Ben, just in general, just in practices or things like that?
From who?
Ben Sauls.
Oh, Ben. Oh, yeah, Ben Sauls. I always call him Sauls. Yeah, threw me off for a second. He's been good, man. He came in, I think his first day came in, not a lot of time to get ready for actual first period, and he did a great job. And he's a professional. He's a pro. He's doing a good job of just being locked in, learning how we operate here in the building, and being with the specialists, taking good feedback, good advice from coaches and players. And he's doing a good job just getting acclimated and becoming a pro.
And is there any semblance of a kicking competition still, or is that something that is definitively part of it?
Every day is a competition. Every day. It doesn't matter if we have one kicker in the building or if we have 2 to 3 kickers in the building. Every day is a competition for all of our players. So if as a kicker in the NFL, you're not just competing just with whoever's in the building. You're competing against all 31 other teams. You're competing for the free agents that are trying out on the tryout wire throughout the weeks of the NFL season. So that's our mindset. And you're always competing just to be the best. So that's how I see it when it comes to us competing. We're always looking for competitive greatness.
D'Angelo Malone had that game-ending interception. He obviously made his name for himself in this league, like on special teams. Does that give you an extra pride moment when you see him do something like that on defense?
I mean, those are awesome, like just to see that. Like you see guys like Zach Harrison, who was drafted as a D lineman, who's been disruptive as a punt rusher and a field goal rusher, and then to see him make that play. You see D'Angelo last year. I was messing with him. Last time he played on Monday night, he had 2 sacks versus the Raiders. But the guys like that, when they get a helmet because of their role on special teams and how they play the game as a football player, and then they get those opportunities on offense and defense to go out there and make plays. Cordell Hodge last year, in overtime. So those things are always awesome to see. And we're, like Ra always talks about, and Terry, we're trying to maximize the 48-man roster. And that's just another example of how we maximize that 48-man roster. So I was happy for those guys and happy for D'Lo.
Marquice, do you have a favorite John Robinson moment? Could be on the field or off the field.
Man, I mean, there's a lot of moments. Like, from him pass pro, Bobby Wagner on Sunday Night Football versus Washington last year, to watching him have that run that he had the other night, to the one-hand catch that he had versus Houston out the backfield, to his first NFL touchdown versus Carolina a couple years ago. I mean, there's so many different ones, but it's special to watch him play. And I'm a firm believer great things happen to great people, and he's just an overall great human being, and it's cool to see. I have the best seat in the house, Mark. I can sit on the sideline and watch him operate. So just who he is as a person, too. Like, I know you could talk about the on-the-field things, but how he carries himself and the person that he is awesome. And you can see why people play so hard for him. You see, like, the guys like Casey Washington, who helped spring that run, is blocking his butt off to make sure that he's taking care of that because he wants to do his job. And overall, he's just a great human being, a great teammate.
Anything else? Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you guys. Take care.